Hi folks, Rick here. Welcome to my channel. Alright, well today we are going to show you how to fix your front bumper mounts if you've smashed into something there. So, I guess let me just show you there because it's hard to even tell you without showing you. So let me go over here and show you what we're going to do and how we're going to fix it. Alright, so these Raptors here on the front bumper here, you can see it's got your bottom mount here, which is gusseted. It's actually pretty darn strong. These top ones here have these tabs, and this one's all tweaked. These are, somewhat sacrificial. They're really thin. They're designed to smash just like this. This took a lot of the impact as well as my bumper, but this keeps from bending your frame. The problem is even though I would call these sacrificial, they're non-replaceable. So when this happens, what the heck you can do? You can see this side here doesn't have one. So here comes the whole road crew coming into my yard. What happens is when you try to straighten this out, more than likely it will snap off. And so that's what happens on this one right here. It happened a long time ago. So I have a mount, and I'm going to make another one today for there. So I'm not going to straighten this one out. And so you can try this. See if you can straighten this thing back out. Obviously it's all smushed this way, so you can try straighten it out. So this is straight. This is about right where that bolt hole line is, so it's got to come this way and out. So you can try fixing that if you're good. That's something if you got the right tools, you can do. I had some heat on it when I was doing it, doing a little bit of tapping, a little bit of pulling with some pressure, and this stuff here just snaps off because it's just kind of barely welded on there. So I'm not going to screw with that, but that's an option for you if you want to do it. But if it's broken on you, like this one here was, and I'm going to end up cutting this one off, I'm going to show you here how to go ahead and repair this to something that's going to work good. It's easy to do, doesn't require any special tools, so you can get this stuff here to fix this right at Home Depot, and this thing will be as good as new. And so yeah, let's go ahead and check it out. Okay folks, so here's what we're going to end up making. So this was on the other side and I just removed it. This right here comes around the frame on the back side, goes through these mounts here and holds it tight. As you can see here, this V's not supposed to be there. It's supposed to be straight across. So just like the factory one that was kind of sacrificial when it hit, it smashed to help absorb it. This one does the same thing. It's smashed in here. This helped absorb the blow and everything's good. So I'm going to straighten this back out where it's flat, and then I'm going to make another one. And so it's pretty easy here. We're going to take here this is flat stock I got from probably the hardware store, inch by 1/8 inch thick aluminum. It was 36-inch piece. Then we're going to take some new ones of these. These are for 1/2 inch pipe size diameter. And we're going to make another one of these mounts, and depending on, I might end up making two. So there's a couple things here. When we make this thing here, now I just replaced one. When my other one broke off, it was the night before a race when I got a chance to do it. Now I'm like in panic mode because I got to get something there. So I just made one of these. And if you make one of these here, you need to measure from the basic your frame to where the top edge of the bolt flange would go on the other mount, and make sure you make this the same size. I don't have that measurement because they're all been bent. Now, if you're going to replace both of these, you can make this as wide as you want. That's going to determine there how far your bumper, does it sit straight up? Do you want it angled out a little bit? And so you've got that option. So my bumper is still in the mail, the one I'm going to be using, so I haven't decided yet, and it might come down to how much time I got. Do I just want to make one of these and duplicate this, or do I think, and I'm actually thinking about maybe making it just a little bit longer, that way my bumper stands out from my bike a little bit more, and that'll just give you a little bit more protection. It will give you a little bit more spring or what have you. But this is what we're going to make. And so with that, yeah, let me go ahead and get started. All right, folks, I forgot to put out some measurements on this thing. So the measurements on this thing aren't exact by any means here. There's a couple things here. So on the width here, I've got about 2.5 inches. You can really do whatever size you want. The biggest thing here, as you look here, is you want to make sure it's wide enough here to you have these go through and be able to get nuts on. So 2.5 inches works good. If you want to go to 3, that's fine. Probably not a lot less narrower. This way here, this is how far out from the bumper it goes. You know, I am about 1.5 inches. This really depends on you. If you're trying to match it up to your existing one, I don't have that exact size. It's probably going to be close to 1.5 inches out, but measure it. Do your best to make this the same size, and then you can put a washer on this side or the other side there to get it even. So that's really about it. Nothing really huge. Again, this is roughly here, as you can see, roughly 2.5 inches wide, and I'm about 1.5 inches going this way. So that's really about it. Okay, well, I've decided to try to replicate this one. So what I'm going to do is start off, you can see it's just a 360-degree circle. So I'm going to kind of set this one here about even where this is at. And then I'm going to kind of, this is difficult here. I'm just going to kind of eyeball this thing here as best I can. And I'm going to make a little score here to kind of mark it. And if it's a little bit longer here, it's okay because we can always get that one off. So yeah, with that, I'm going to stick this in my vise right here. You may not be able to see it, but all I'm going to do is just make a bend as best I can. Make sure I got that straight. And I'm just going to do my best here to not snap it off. Yeah, I probably would have done this the other way. Switch that around. Sorry about this. You might not be able to see all this, but okay, so I've got one. It's actually a little bit too far. Bend that straight back out. All right, so I've kind of got my one here. It's a little bit long, but that's okay. Now I'm just going to kind of look at this here, about where that bend is again. And we'll try duplicating this one here. Sorry if you can't see this thing here. It's all I can do to hang on to this thing here. Just going to kind of make myself some marks. This doesn't have to be perfect, I don't think. You know, that one there is going to be difficult, I'll tell you. Should have bent this one out here a little bit more. Let's see here how that's going to look here real quick. Oh, I need to get that a little bit earlier. Just trying to figure out here how best to get this in my vise. Maybe it's better doing it this way. Move that a little bit. Do a little bit of a double check on my bend here. up just a little bit. Just up just a little bit higher. Yeah, and to be honest with you, I don't think it doesn't really got to be perfect. All right, so try to bend this down. There we go. Yep, pretty good. I got to do some straightening on this stuff, but it's coming along good. So from here, now I need to take my length measurements. Kind of do some little, like that. Got to see how I'm going to bend this all the time. Let's see here. Okay. Double check my width. I think that there looks absolutely perfect. I'm just going to bend this down this way. And lock my vise down a little bit. Double check my width on this. Yeah, it's coming out okay. Might be a little skinnier, that's all right. Okay. There we go. That's looking good. So I'm going to have to, I've got some straightening to do. I got to push this one back out this way. I'm just trying to get it where it's close. And so I can always cut it off. So right now I think about kind of measuring here about how far this needs to be. So I got to come down and then I know go across. So I think about right there. I'm not sure how to even do this. Maybe this way here. It's got to be bent right there in that spot. So there, and we'll just bend it across here. There we go. So now it's just a matter of cutting these things down here and kind of straighten them out a little bit and we'll be good to go. So I'm going to go ahead here and start hacking this off, but you can kind of see how it is. So this is the start of it here. And so this here, you can see it's pretty darn close to the same size. I'm going to cut this side here down some and then yeah, all that will work good. So yeah, let me go ahead and do this one here. I'm going to do some cutting and then we'll come back and take a look at it. All right, folks, so I got mine bent here, but the last time I did this, I think I used my workbench because I had just gotten this vise. And what happens is getting it as tight as I can around here, it made it just a hair, you can see it's just a hair bit wider this way. And so, since I already done this one, what I ended up doing here is just making up a second one. I don't mind it a little bit wider, but now you can see they're exactly equal. So I was just using my thing here. I think I was using my bench before when I done it the last time. But so you may have to do this here. Again, if you're trying to replicate your old one, you know, you want to make sure you get the exact measurements there. Again, it could take you a couple times, but I was using this vise and it wouldn't go down small enough. That's too wide here, and so it made this thing here too big. And so since I was doing that, it's a quick and easy thing, I just made a second one. But there they are. So what we want to do now here is just go ahead and stick these in the vise here. And then, I don't know what I did with my little, I'll use this little thing here. But we want to go ahead and put in the holes here for our little U-clamps here. So I'm just going to kind of eyeball this thing here in the middle. Eyeball this one here in the middle. Okay, I think that's pretty good. And I'll just go ahead and take my drill here. A little pilot hole. And we'll just, if I can find that thing, just drill a little pilot hole first. Need to get it more in the center here. This one here, hopefully, doesn't hurt to double check this. Yeah. Put my bigger bit in here. And we'll just drill these out a little bit farther. There we go. Hopefully these will fit. There we go. So it doesn't hurt to have them just a hair bigger. So I'm going to go ahead and do the other one here. Now the one out here on this mount here that we got to drill, I got to pull a sticker off. This is where we're going to bolt a bumper to. It should bolt right in the center here, but I'm not going to drill this. I'm going to wait till I get the actual bumper. I'm going to go ahead and mount these up. And then I'm going to get the actual bumper, and then I'm going to mark it just to make darn sure, because you never know, maybe it's off one way or the other, but it should be right dead center, but we'll go ahead and hold off. So yeah, so that's it. These are coming along. I'm going to go ahead and drill out my second one, and yeah, we'll go ahead and get this mounted up, get the bumper, mark those holes, drill it, and these things will be like brand new. All right, folks. So I've cut this thing off. Use a little bit of an angle grinder here. You can see there, and then I've ground it down. I didn't ground it down flat. You just got to make sure it's ground down far enough for these things to go around, and so that's good. So you can see the other side here. What I'm going to do is I clean this up with some brake clean, and I am going to shoot this with a little bit of paint. Not to make it look good, just to make sure it doesn't rust. So I'm going to really do a good job painting this thing here. I'll probably repaint that one. And then the last time when I got done and got all these mounted up here, I'll probably paint these just so they don't stand out so bad. I don't know. But I'm going to paint my frame here. There you can see this one here. This is actually color matching, but it doesn't color match too good. This is from the last one I done. But I'll repaint this just so I don't get any rust. And then, yeah, we'll keep moving along here. All right, folks. So I've got my bumper here. I've got my mounts. So what you want to do is put your bumper in here. Go ahead and bolt it up. You don't have to do it tight. If you're only replacing one, go ahead and bolt up 3 of them if you're only doing again, if you only have one mount. Otherwise, you want to look this up here. Put these on these brackets on here. And I just got them on loose there, but make sure they're going to line up and then see where the holes are. So basically on this one here, they are going to line up right in the center. So if I drill a hole right dead center, that's going to work out good. I just wanted to double check that before I drill the holes. So this is going to work out perfectly. So I'm going to go ahead and remove these and go ahead and drill the holes, and then I'll be ready here just to go ahead and mount this up. Just a couple things here to note. Not sure if you can see it here. So these U-clamps that go around here, the threads come out here probably a little longer than necessary there. I don't think it's a big deal. I may trim them off. Looking at them there, by the time I get washers on them, they'll probably work out just fine. But I also went ahead and just painted them up just so they're not standing out there aluminum. So I'm going to go ahead and pull these off, drill them out, and then we will go ahead and bolt them up. This will be ready to go. Okay, folks, so we got her all on there. Looking really good. I love this bumper. This will actually be a tusk bumper. So let me just kind of show you here what I did. So I got everything on here. Everything's bolted up good. I got these cinched down. I got enough space here so I didn't cut those off here. But there's a couple things here. So if you remember here, the purpose of this split here is so if this thing smashes in, these will bend in and give you a little bit of absorption right there. So when you go to tighten these down, if you crank them super tight, this is obviously just going to start bending in here. So you just want to get these down snug, where it's snug, and then that's good. You don't want to start bending these things down so tight. If you bend them a little, or bend them a little bit, it doesn't make a whole lot of difference here. But you just don't want to crank them down tight. You want to just get them nice and snug, and they'll be good. All your bolts here. So right now I'm just going to call this a test fit. I'm going to back each one of these off. Even though I got lock washers, I'm also going to put Loctite on them. So I haven't done that yet. I like to put Loctite on all these bolts, but I want to get it there to where it's all in good shape. And then, yeah, that's really it. So brand new bumper mounts, easy to do, not hard. It's not a big precision job. They work good. You can adjust them out. So you can see here, I've got at least a couple of, probably 3 fingers here before my plastics. So it's pretty good. It's probably out maybe another 1/4 inch farther than what it was on this particular bumper. This bumper here, it's got a pretty decent offset. I like that because these big arms right here will bend when you hit something, which is part of the good thing on a thing. So you want something to give. This also gives along with this. So this is a very forgiving bumper setup there, but it's not fragile by any means there. But if you hit a tree and stuff like that, this thing does its job and it's not going to destroy your frame. So again, I'm not sure what the deal was on these mounts originally. Again, they're somewhat sacrificial, but there's no way to replace them. Taking them back to Yamaha, I'm not sure, if they weld them or if they got some replacements or what the heck's going on there, but that's really just not an option, nor do I want to do that. So making my own here is pretty easy. But again here, a couple of things just to note. If one mount is stock mount, let's say this one wasn't broken, you want to make sure this one here, your distance this way, is very similar. Again, if it's off a little bit, you could always put a washer on this side or a washer on that side to even them up. If both of them are broke on that side, it's not a huge difference how far you make them. You can kind of make this thing a little bit narrower, or if you don't like this gap, you want it closer. Maybe you're looking for a custom look. You can kind of bring them in closer. You can bring them in farther. However you want to deal there. I wasn't too big of a deal. I just, I use my bench vise to make these as small as I can. It was actually slightly longer this way than the other one. So I just made 2 identical, quick and easy. Didn't take any time, and this is done. Drill a few holes, and I had to get these 2 U-clamps there. So it was those 1¼ inch pipe hose clamps, I think is what they were. I'll have to look on that now. I can't remember what they were, if they were 1¼ inch or 1½ inch. Let me measure that really quick there. But hold on a second. Okay, yeah, the distance between center to center on these was 1¼ inch on that one. But yeah, these were maybe $2. I had this aluminum from the first time I made the mount. I can't remember how much it is. Maybe, I don't know, call it $8 to $10 or something for this strip. It comes in I think it was a 3-foot strip of aluminum. Pretty easy to make. So I've made a couple. I've also made other stuff. It doesn't take a whole lot, but quick and easy to bend. So it's not a very expensive. You can do this You know, without filming this thing, you could probably do this in a couple hours time pretty easy, especially if you're in a rush. You can get it done in its good shape. And again, this is a front bumper. This stuff is not like some precision, custom made, custom fit thing, so you don't have to worry about being super exact. The bumper itself here on mine, it's got slots this way, it's got slots up and down, so there's plenty of room on this bumper here as well. You know, if your bumper's bent, the first time I did this, again, it was just in a hurry. I just made one of these and I straightened out the bumper, the old bumper there, as best I could. Hooked it back on, it all worked good. And the bumper was never perfectly straight, didn't really care. I've smashed a couple times since then. I've straightened it out, straightened these things out, kind of got things going back together. Still works good. This last time, I just got sick and tired of it. It bent too much, and I've been bending these mounts too many times there. I think they're getting weak, so I decided just to go ahead and get a new bumper and start from scratch on this thing here. But it's pretty easy to do. Once you got your own mounts, it's very easy to work with bumpers, swap out bumpers, do whatever you need to do, but it's a quick and easy fix there. So if your bumper mounts are smashed, don't fret. It's an easy fix here. Probably certainly for under $20 in a couple hours time, you can easily make your other ones, make your own there in your garage and be done with it. And so I'll probably pull this back off. I need to Loctite everything there, but I'll probably shoot these washers here and reshoot this with some paint just to make sure it don't rust there, and then that'll look good. But other than that, that's it. That's how to repair the bumper mounts here, these upper bad bumper mounts on a Yamaha Raptor. So with that, enjoy.